Well, the autumn hunt is in full swing. I have been itching to get back out again, and so here I am. I have 3 targets today. There's a lot to squeeze in autumn, but there's good news, I think, which is that the, excuse me, the autumn colours are here. Oh, what's gone on there? Okay, so there is good news, and that is that the autumn colours are with us, and that's great. So I am very pleased about that. They are a little patchy, so not everything is in its full autumn glory, but I'm hoping that enough is. That's the good news. The bad news is the light is terrible and it's raining. Now the rain can be a help because we can get a bit of saturation, deepens those colours further, which is fantastic. But we could do with a bit of light, and because of all sorts of commitments family-wise, I've not been able to get out and about at kind of peak times, dawn, well, golden hour, you know what I'm talking about. Golden hour has been eluding me for a while, and which is a shame. But nevertheless, here I am. I'm back at this tree that I have visited at least 3 times in the run-up to autumn, just to see how it's looking. And so I'm going to look at it again, and we'll see, won't we? In a moment. It's only about, I don't know, 60 meters from here, so it's not going to take long. This is a quick recce, and we'll see how it is doing. If we've got good colour, if the light is right and all of those lovely things, I'll take some pictures. Otherwise I might just have to earmark it to come back when we've got better light. Then the second target I have, I'm going to go back to a place called Nightwood in the New Forest, because I want to see if I can find some more fungi. So I did some reasonable fungi shots quite recently. They're okay, but I'm new to the whole fungi thing, really, particularly with using, a close-up lens. I can't really call it a macro lens. It's the Nikor 77mm close-up lens, they call it. And so that screws onto the front element of the lens that I'm using. So we'll see. Seems a bit soft at the edges, but I don't know whether that is because of the qualities of the close-up lens, or whether it's because of the characteristics of the lens that I'm attaching it to. So more experimentation is needed there. So then the third target that I have is, there is a tree up in Boulderwood in the New Forest that I saw on a recent visit that I think could just make a fantastic target for autumn. A really lovely, tall beech tree with plenty of space around it for me to be able to get it nicely set in a frame. So that's 3 things to do today, which is going to take quite a while, really. So I'm going to stop waffling, because otherwise this video is going to be about 30 minutes long, and I don't really want that. So I'm going to crack on, and I'll catch up with you in a minute. Well, it's certainly mucky, and there is our tree. Let's just get a little closer in and just see what kind of colour we have. Leaves have definitely turned. Canopy is thinning. This is the problem, that some of the trees around it, these are birch trees, and the birch trees up here, you can see there's a lot of light up here, a lot of light from the sky. Birch trees are among the first to lose the foliage, and so that does mean, unfortunately, that there's a lot less canopy. But I think there's enough. What we don't have is light. We really do. Now you can see more of the actual tree structure because the canopy is thinning somewhat, and I do like that. So I think while I've got the opportunity, I'm going to take a shot or two, and then we'll compare it at a later time with some of the other shots that I've got. Because if I leave it much longer, canopy's going to be so thin. I don't know when I'm next going to get out with good light. So I'll set to work on that. Now, sadly, it is raining quite properly now, but I was fortunate that just for a moment, the light did brighten a little and it got a bit warmer. And so you can see in this image here, it's definitely a warmer tone there. If I go back to how we're shooting now, you can see it's darker. It's a lot less warmth to the light, and it's wet. So I think for now, I've probably got my shot. It's as simple as that. I might just try though, well, not try, I will take a couple of shots at different focus points. So I focused on the tree because that was the important thing for me to get absolutely spot on in this image. So I've got this nice scene here, rather gorgeous, tall beech tree, and this particular beech tree it's lost quite a lot of its foliage actually, and it's really a very deep orangey russet colour, which is fantastic, just what I want. And yet right behind me, around here, is another beech tree, and its foliage is almost entirely green, and we're just a matter of, I don't know, 30 yards, 30 meters between these trees. So it's a real puzzle as to quite what's happening this autumn, and it is making things a little bit tricky. Anyway, here we go. So I'd like to make something of this, and so I have my polarizing filter on just to try and deepen the colours a little bit. I'm not sure at the moment it's going to make much difference because the sun, you can see actually, just if you look here, you'll be able to see change in how much light there is reflecting off the leaves. And so it does cut down that sort of those specular highlights if you wish to, and deepen the greens there. And so, you know, I'll keep the polarizer on, there's no harm doing that. The weather is pretty still, there's not much wind at all, and so I'm not too worried about the length of the time in terms of focus. And so let's just get our exposure right for here. And on exposure, I'm usually looking here at here at the histogram, and so I want this to be just to the left of the right hand edge is generally how I tend to set it, and make sure that we're not clipping any of the shadows at this edge. And so let's put on our 2-second timer. I'm on f6.3 in 1/6 of a second, and we'll have that shot. And then I'm going to go to f8, and we're going to just drop that down to 1/4 of a second, so we'll have the same total overall exposure value, same again, focused on the tree, and I might try f11 as well. It's another 3 clicks, 1, 2, 3, so again same exposure value, and off we go. And all of those focused here on the tree trunk. And even though we've got a 1/2 a second exposure there, I'm still expecting the foliage to be sharp. So let's go in and have a look. Just to check our focus. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good. You know, we're really pixel peeping here because we're at 100%, or at 1:1. So that should look nice. But what we haven't got at the moment really is the light. And it has been in and out. There are some blue patches of sky. So I know if I wait here long enough, eventually we're going to get some more of that lovely autumn sunshine here. And I want that for this shot. Quite often in woodland I like to shoot in the shade so I can really control the light, but for this I want some sunshine. I want to really brighten these vibrant colours. So I'm going to wait for that. Well, sadly it doesn't look like I'm going to get the light that I want anytime soon. And just looking at my weather radar app, it's a shame because there is some blue sky in the far distance behind the tree, but it's that's moving away from us, or rather the clouds are going to obscure that area. And yeah, unfortunately I think it's going to be at least an hour before we get anything brighter here. So I think what I might do is move on and go in search of some mushrooms. So there are some fungi around here, including at the base of this tree. So this is the sort of place we tend to find them. It's the old rotting wood, really, it seems. And there's a few different ones here, most of which seem to be past their best. But I think it's worth just having a bit of a closer look down here. So I shall root around for a little while. So I'm having a lot of fun with this tiny little scene here. I've got this little porcelain mushroom, I think that it is. And let's see if I can get in a little bit, zoom in a bit closer than that. There we go, look. And so I have lit it with some of my lamps again, just as you can see here, just to provide a little bit of side lighting and back lighting for it, because it's quite dim in here. And otherwise it's going to be a lot of very long exposures, but also just to give it a bit of shape. I've done it with and without some lighting. And the setup here, now there's a bit of a difference today, so what I have decided to do, because I was having a lot of trouble trying to adjust the ball head on my little tripods here, I've put my geared head on, which is a bit of overkill really given the size of the tripod that it's on, but it does enable me to make these very small adjustments to how I'm focusing things and how I'm, well, not so much how I'm focusing, how I'm composing things. So let's just focus that one on there. There we go, look. And so, oops, there you go. So I can now, with the gearing, I can make quite fine adjustments to the composition if I want to. And this is making a big difference to the time it takes, particularly to get a shot sorted out. So I quite like that actually. There we go. Let's just check that for focus on the very leading edge. And so I'm finding that I'm tending to do some very small manual adjustments to focus, just to get that really crisp leading edge on the mushroom there. I think you can probably see that just about. And now we can go to our focus shift menu. And I'm just telling it to do 20 shots. That's enough to get the top of this mushroom in, and with a focus step width of 3, go start. And off it goes. And in about a minute or so, all 20 shots will have been taken, and we can review those results. This scene is pretty much as I found it, with the exception that let's just go back to, I guess, just focus that on there. I have put this an orange leaf in the background just to give it some real autumn colour, just to get some nice bang-in colours in there, and I love that. But other than that, it's where I found it. It's surrounded by an oak, some little oak leaves on a twig that have clearly broken off this tree above, and I think the mushroom has grown up through that. Yeah, just a little bit of colour in the background, and Bob's your uncle. I am back at this beech tree. Oh, look, the sun has come out just a little, and well, that's why I'm here, basically, because the cloud is breaking up again. I've spent a couple of hours photographing fungi, and now I'm back here at this big beech tree, and just going for the composition that I found earlier. So let's just take a look at that. Here we are, and yeah, pretty much bang on where I was. I've gone for just over 50mm in terms of the focal length here, and I'm just going to wait for some more little bright moments like that. So this is the beech tree that I was at about 3 weeks ago, I think, maybe a month ago, and I thought this will look great in autumn when the leaves have changed. Now, a lot of the leaves have changed, a lot of them still green, and it's lost a lot of its canopy as well, so it's not really quite what I was hoping for, and at the moment we haven't got light, but I'm hopeful that we will have. There should be some clear patches of sky coming through, and it's now late in the afternoon. And then there's some other little targets around here as well, so while I'm waiting for the light I might have a little scout about. Well, I think that's about it really for this day out. I've probably taken on more than I could chew. I should have allowed more time here because there are other shots to be had, but I don't have time, and unfortunately I can't wait around until sunset either. I'm gotta go. But nevertheless, I've had great fun, and here particularly I've enjoyed shooting some more fungi while I was waiting for a bit of light, and then experimenting with like this fallen log in the foreground over here as a bit of foreground interest when shooting the tree, and shot that in various lighting conditions. So if any of those are any good, any of those shots, whether it's the fungi or the tree, or with the tree with or without the foreground, then here are those shots. And in the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this little one-day autumn adventure. I've been to 3 great little sites in the New Forest, and each time I come here I get to know it that little bit better, which is great. So thanks very much for joining me, and I'll see you all again next time.